let's see, we're over here. Hi everybody. It's kind of weird, you're to my right hand side, but I'm looking at the camera on the left because I got all sorts of camera hookups. I'm over there, I got my regular screen here. Hi. I have my computer open over there. Just some of the fun 9 little camera angles that are possible. Let's see if I can get rid of that light on that one. No. Okay. I got the air conditioner running. It's so humid here because of the rain. So I just wanted to mention the new hats that we finally got in, and I'll give you a sneak peek of something else that's going to be at the next race and probably sold out at the next race. But the hats, we originally ordered them. Let me get it up here, and I think I'm going to use this camera. So originally we had the green patch, and the green patch was ordered, and then difficulties with that, and then more difficulties with the replacement order and all that fun stuff. So we switched to the black patch. This is going to be our hat going forward. No more green patch. We can consider them the classics for now. I'm going to order green patches from another company. You might have seen me ask on the threads today about that. But I want to have green patches for shirts, and a couple of riders asked me for green patches and to make them bigger. So I'm calling. To me, this reminds me of the Oakland Raiders for some reason. I don't know why. Let me see if I can make this flash. That little, it like sparkles almost. The silver in there, you can see lines. That's actually like highlights. I kind of like it. I think it's cool. I know it's not the original one that we put up for sale, so if anybody doesn't want this design, they will get a refund, and I'll work on them on a one-on-one basis. This was ordered so long ago, so the original 30 pre-orders are here. Actually, I have 32, and I just ordered another batch that'll be here in 2 weeks. So I'll actually have these for sale at races. So I'm sure I'm going to have to reorder again, because once somebody sees these hats, I actually had them at the Grand Canyon timed event with me, but I didn't have the list of who actually bought. Because some people did PayPal, some people did Venmo, some people did Zelle. Yeah, it is a nice way of flashing. Oh, it is. I can get a little closer. This patch is made in-house by Amy at Ink Dugs. So I'll just be able to order hats from now on going forward. It was a pain in the neck having to outsource the patches and wait for the patches and then get the hats in and all that fun stuff. So, but it's still on the same Richardson 112s. So everybody who's done a pre-order that I haven't contacted yet, I will be contacting them and working with them if they want their refund or if they want the hat. Once you see the hat in person, you're gonna say, I want the hat. So I have a feeling. So that's the hats going forward. So that was the main reason why I drove down to Ink Dug from Mesa, because I wanted the hats in my possession after being so long. This is a project that took way too long. So what I also got at Ink Dugs was smaller sizes in pink, extra small, smalls, and mediums. The extra smalls I think are already sold out by the 2 people that I talked to. I'll come back to this. No, we'll go to this angle. So how come I don't have a Southwest Barrels coffee mug? Well, we're going to change that in a couple minutes. Anyway, pink, purple, and a new color. Even though we've had red in the past, I wanted something. Let's go back a little bit. I asked Amy what colors she had available that maybe other customers ordered that she had a back order for. I figure I help her out and, you know, help her with it, excess inventory. Because if somebody canceled their shirts, she's sitting on a lot of money. So she made us a whole bunch of T-shirts. You seen the one Jill with the royal blue that I posted about a couple weeks ago? That is my absolute favorite color. I can't believe I haven't ordered like 1,000 of them. But royal blue will be a standard color going forward. Next order. I'm hesitating between royal blue and neon pink, hot pink. But anyway, in the meantime, let me get back on topic here. So, shout out to the people at Horseshoe Park for giving me a hat last time I was there. I love those guys. So I says to Amy, give me whatever color that you have extra, and she printed off the royal blues, and of course she had some pinks laying around, purples, and we fulfilled the order. She also had one T-shirt that was heather black that I fell in love with instantly. I'm a big fan of heather T-shirts because they're a little bit lighter, and you don't sweat as much in them. I have a heather T-shirt from Hootsuite of all people that I got probably in 2014 that I absolutely love, and it's so comfortable, especially if you're just lounging around the house or whatever. But she made me a heather black one, and it was a small, and it was only one, so I didn't know what to do with it. And the first person I seen that was a small was Faith Hudson. So Faith got a T-shirt, a heather black T-shirt, which is the only one in existence. So if you're keeping score at home, there's only one heather black T-shirt, and there's 3 royal blue T-shirts. Everything else is thing. So when I says to Amy I wanted to reorder the red, she says I have a whole bunch of heather red. And let me tell you, I'm not a fan of the red shirt. It's not my favorite, but everybody seems to love it. But this heather one, it is so soft. This is going to be our red T-shirt going forward, I think. No more of the original red. Unless you really love it, I can still get them. But I'm switching over to heather because I like this. And the thing with heather, I don't know, with me with the Maine Coons, cat hair seems to go everywhere. On the heather, the cat hair doesn't go. Doesn't stick to it. I don't know the reason why, fabric-wise. But like these navy blue shirts, I can't keep cat hair off this thing. It's very rare that you see me in a navy blue shirt. This is, I'm calling the lint brush edition. Between this and the black. That's why I want to switch the black to the heather black. So, these I have a limited supply in extra small, small, and medium. I kept the sizes small this time around, order-wise, because I had to order a bunch of stuff, and to tell you the truth, the bill was getting a little high. So, I didn't want to make an obscene amount order. I'd rather do each month and have it going forward. But yeah, a lot of kids asking me for smalls and extra smalls and mediums. I'm like, when I place an order for T-shirts, let's say I do 50 T-shirts, I want to say 20 of them are mediums. And if I sell 2 larges, and the last batch of T-shirts, believe it or not, was in the extra large, I got them all except for one. So I keep forgetting the camera's over here. Anyway, yeah, and people are asking me for 2X and 3X, and then I don't see the people anymore. So I end up, the last 3X and 2X I gave away to little kids as pajamas to wear. So the smaller sizes is definitely a thing. Might help if I turn on comments, huh? I can't see you guys commenting. Hold on. The last batch of T-shirts, believe it or not, was any extra long. Okay, there we go. That's better. Hi, Bailey. Hi, Amy. Okay, let me know about the hat. I still haven't gone through the list yet, so I don't even know. I haven't looked at it, I should say, in a couple days, who actually ordered, so. It's still pink, so. But, Yeah, I apologize that this took so long with the hats. This should have been way done a long time ago. We should have been on 3 reorders actually. Actually, the hats, I believe this is it probably is the 3rd reorder. I know the first group of hats, I think I got a dozen, and 9 of them went to Positivity Posse. So, Positivity Posse, if you didn't know, they get their merch for free. So, a red hoodie. Lauren, I don't think I'm going to do red hoodies. I am on the fence about getting pink hoodies. Hoodies for me is such a pain in the ass because they're big, they're bulky, and I got to order a minimum of 24, and I normally get 20 pre-orders. So then I'm driving around in my car with these extra 3 or 4, you know, and I don't wear hoodies. So, hello, Jennifer Campbell. Miss your face. Maybe I'll get to see you on Saturday. Take orders for color and size and takes payment at the time so you don't get stuck with t-shirts. Yeah, Jessica, that's actually what I did with the hoodies. Because the hoodies are $30. Figure if I'm ordering 25 of them, that's $600, $700. You know? Not that I don't have that to lay out, but, you know, why should I go into my rent money for that, you know? This is crazy. Some of you are commenting on... Let me go on the live itself. It's not showing me as live. That's funny. Anyway. Yeah, Bailey, I'm thinking about pink hoodies. I was actually even thinking about neon pink hoodies. We've done black, and people every single race almost ask me for a black hoodie. And it could be 150 degrees outside, but people love the black hoodie. Purple was last year, and the purple, I think I ended up with 1 extra. I could do purple again, but I think I want to change colors every year. Because, you know, if you already have a black hoodie, why would you order another black hoodie? I don't know. So. Jennifer, you also probably have a lot of photos in the binder of Awesome, I think. Or did you get them last time you were there? I forget. We got 3 binders now, so it's very hard for me to get up for this. Yes, Bailey, pink. Were you saying pink for t-shirts or pink for... Jessica, I still have some more pictures of you from that, I just need to upload the whole entire Sabre test race, to tell you the truth. There's probably about 10 or 15 pictures of you guys in your group. Anyway. So this is the red heather, and I wish you guys could feel this because it is super smooth. So this was kind of a surprise. I didn't tell anybody I was doing this. I'm always going to have pink. I'm always going to have purple. Those are our 2 standards, but the 3rd color is probably going to be switched around a little bit. Well, you're going to have to go out and get a 2nd or 3rd job for hoodies and t-shirts and hats. Jennifer, I don't have any pink hats. I have to recount. I might have 1 or 2 extra right now. So, I'm not sure. So, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments. It's hard. I got the iPad set up here with comments, but it only shows me the comments off Facebook. It doesn't show me the comments off YouTube because we're broadcasting in both places. I never broadcast just the one. The iPad's set up to broadcast to both, so why not? Plus, I need content over on YouTube. If you guys aren't on the YouTube channel, There's 32,000 subscribers over there. And we actually have a private little group that pays monthly for private access. So, Bailey, since you're listening, I do have a camera strap for you. I don't think I gave you a camera strap. I have one in my case, almost like brand new. So, I could see me going to a race sometime that's not a race that I'm doing and set up a merch table. I think I'd make out pretty good with that. Between books, hats, t-shirts. So, who knows, maybe one big race I'll do that. So yeah, so if you're just tuning in now, let me show you the head again. Where am I here? Oh, too far. Like I said, I like the way the silver shines. I know silver isn't exactly a barrel racing. Where is the camera? There we go. Let's see if I can make this flicker. It almost looks like galvanized plate. Would that be a good way to put it? Yeah, I think so. You know what galvanized plate is. But like I said, it's a lot different in person than what you're going to see in the camera. See if I can flip it up and make it. That's a good example of it right there. So, like I said, we pre-ordered this, I want to say March or April. And then we had problems with the patches. There was just multiple mess-ups. And 90% of it was my half. So, I'll tell you the real story in person. I really don't want to put it online. So, that's that. So, I will have everything with me. I should be able to hit everybody. There was a couple people that wanted it shipped. So, I'll do that. But, that's another thing I need to do. I need to set up a spot on the Southwest Barrel site for merch to be ordered. I really don't want to get into the shipping business. But maybe I'll do prepay and pick up at race. I don't know. So, anything else I need to show you? We are going to have a calendar for barrel races. I haven't really explained that at all whatsoever. That's kind of my next hidden tech gem. So, I'm glad you like it, Jessica. We got like 6 different Jessicas and Jennifers on this thing. It's a little confusing for me. But, yeah. So. And if there's ever a color that you want, feel free to suggest it to me. Because, you know, I'm a guy and I'm colorblind, so me making colored shirt decisions is not really smart. Plus, you guys know what you like. As an example, the very first order for t-shirts, I want to say it was the original turquoise. I ordered t-shirts. I ordered like 3 smalls, 3 mediums. We didn't even have extra small. And then I ordered like 25 extra large and like 10 2X. Needless to say, that didn't work out too good. Checkered, that's a interesting idea. Thank you, Amy, for the kind words. A lot of work on this, on my end for stuff. So, another thing I got that's going to change is the videos. The videos, once I change my iPhones, are going to be in a lot closer zoom than are right now. Right now, the iPhone, when I'm taking the videos, I set it at 2.9. After 2.9, it goes to optical zoom. Or no, it goes to digital zoom. There's optical zoom and digital zoom. So the digital zoom is when you take a video and it's all pixelated. So you never want to take a video in digital zoom. You always want to be optical. So the iPhone that I have is 2.9 when you zoom in, and it's crystal clear, and then it jumps to digital. So I don't know how to explain it, but better than that. But the new iPhones, I can zoom in 4.9 instead of 2.9. So I will be able to zoom in like right on your horse and as I'm going along. So that's very, very cool. I'm sure it'll take me a little bit of time to get that in. Taking videos with no hands is not exactly the easiest of tasks. So Bailey, what would be wicked? I don't know which one you're talking about. But Bailey says, "Oh, that's wicked." So, of course, I want to do tie-dye, but I think I would have a little problem with my friend over there doing tie-dye. So we'll just let her do the tie-dye. Wow, thunder. Anyway, I hope everybody's not flooded. If you are and you need a hand, yell, holler at your boy. I'll be over with a shovel. I'm sitting here editing photos and stuff, so I'm looking to get out of the house, to tell you the truth. Yeah, so what did we cover? We covered the thing. Live feed is going to change a little bit too, which is a good thing. We're going to change the audio. The live feed actually got cut off during time onlys. What happens with the live feed is the music companies run AI software to detect the music in the background, and even though it's really, really, really mute on the live stream, they can still hear it. And normally they send me a warning. I'll get 27 warnings during a live stream about background music, and they're sharing the revenue with the artist or whatever. Meanwhile, the live stream revenue doesn't really, it's peanuts. So that doesn't really matter at this point. How about teal checking, Bailey? There you go. She says about the teal and the checking. I'm surprised I haven't done teal again. We did teal twice. And that always sells out like instantly. I don't want to say it's turquoise because the original color was turquoise and it was a little darker. And then we went to the teal. The original turquoise, the company that we got them from, I don't think they make turquoise anymore. So that's a one and done. And that was the very first shirt. The turquoise and the gray came about at the same time, I think. And even though the turquoise was a mad hit at first, the grays actually outnumbered it. So maybe I need to order some grays too. I like having one color. I don't like having multiple colors and multiple sizes. What happens to me is I'm standing in the arena and people are asking me for blue this or pink this or this in this size, and I really can't tell you what's in the box. It's a little unorganized, especially after a couple barrel racers go through it, because you can't. The box of T-shirts, well, in the future I'm going to have the T-shirts laid out in the welcome center. That's first of all, and you're going to be able to Zelle the payment right there, and talk to me about it. But and I'll probably have a Positivity Posse member hanging out near the welcome center if you need help, or somebody. But yeah, you'll be able to go to the welcome center, buy a book, buy a hat, buy a T-shirt, maybe a hoodie. I don't know. So yeah, Jessica, you're right. I do need help. Being a one-man show, I'm doing the live stream, which doesn't take much work once I set it up. I'm doing photos, which is the main baby, of course, and I'm doing videos at the same time. So I actually have 3 jobs, and now you add selling merch 4, and then I have the hardest job of all, which is dealing with crazy barrel racers. Yes. I say that lovingly. But yeah, so the live feed's going to change a little bit. I'm going to change the audio source. I might even put a mic on myself, which would be very interesting. I got that idea from Major League Baseball. They put a mic on the ESPN Sunday Night guys. So, plus the binder. I forgot about the binder. Yeah, there's just accidentally 1,600 photos laying out there for people to take. So I need better signage for the photos too. People walk by and they see the binder and they think they're for sale, and then they just keep walking. And another problem I have with the binder of Awesome is once people look through the binders, they close them, and now people don't even know that there's photos. I'm in the middle of the arena somewhere and all three binders are closed. People have no idea that the binders are even there. So everybody watching this, if you see a binder closed, open it up for me. So this is fun. I remember I actually have a ChatGPT email sent to me every Monday to remind me to go live on Monday nights. So maybe we'll do Monday night merch. How's that sound? Oh, look at this. That's a nice cut. Interesting. So the hand's doing a lot better. I just took the bandage off. I wish there was some way to put the run times on the live stream. Technically there is, but with me being in the arena, it's one less thing. 90% of the time I'm not near the live stream. And then I asked a couple of producers about I could put 9 cameras on the live stream. So I mean, we could switch cameras. We can have you in the holding pen, switch cameras on your entrance, switch cameras on your on each barrel, and then another camera on your running home shot. And I can also put a camera on the timer. So there could be a camera on the timer 24/7. But with that said, any little bit of wind adjustment onto the iPad, the iPad moves a lot, believe it or not. Sometimes when you see one barrel out of place, it's because the wind did it. Even though I have the tripod locked down with bungee cords, the wind, it's still a fan, a sail, a fan. Excuse me. Pumpkin spice coffee, homemade, nice. Yeah, and then I asked a couple of producers about it, and believe it or not, the producers of the race don't want it on there because of timer malfunctions or people crossing over the timer. And sometimes the timer you'll hear the beep, but the timer is still running. It's like a 1/8 of a second delay between either the timer goes first or the run stops. Actually, I think the run stops and then you hear the beep. It's just the 3-second or 1-second internet behind, so it doesn't match up. Yes, it'll be the right number afterwards, but if you're watching the replay and you hear the beep and you still see the timer running, you question every single run. But that's not the case. It's let's say an optical illusion. So, but yes, I can technically put the live stream timer up there, put it in a little corner, just like the other people do. The other people, the big racers, they use eCam software, where you have to have a computer set up and you have to use a digital camera. Where I'm just iPad, press button, go. I try to keep it simple for myself, you know. Yes, Jessica, I agree. You know what I could do? I could put Jessica's thing up on the screen. Look at that. The magic of the live stream. So, Jessica, yes, it would help if I put a mic on me. But the problem is, if I put a mic on me, it eliminates the mic on the iPad. You wouldn't be able to hear the announcers. So it's either or. There are systems where it has 2 mics, and it'll be able to pick it up, but then I'm still dealing with the background music from the second mic. There's a lot of stuff going on for a barrel racing photographer, that's for sure. And if anybody's interested in how all of this works, I could talk about this all day long. I mean, hop at the fence and hanging out behind me in the arena and while I'm shooting, and I'll explain exactly how all of this stuff works. You know? Morgan, yes, the t-shirts are going to be for sale. There is, I believe, 5 of each size with extra small pinks. I already owed out 4 of them, so let's just say the extra small pinks are sold out. But all the other colors, the purple and the reds, yes. The purple and the reds are available in extra small, small, and medium. And the pink is available in small. Here's another one. What if we put a mic with the announcers so we can only hear them rather than the tractors. Yes. Problems, well, yes and yes. Uh, PA systems, both I should say the PA system at Cobra and the PA system at Queen Creek are totally different boards. If I was to hot mic them, there is a way that the microphone could be the only thing in the announcer's booth going out to the live stream. But it would take a wireless transmitter to the back of the mixing board. That would have to go totally across the arena to the iPad. And let's say the distance is 100 yards and it's 150 yards distance between the two. It would be closer at Cobra, but I haven't exactly looked at Cobra's thing. But Cobra isn't a problem because they don't play music in the background. So that's where we're at. Yeah. I like being able to highlight this on the screen. I forgot I can do this. And then I press it again and it goes away. Okay. Yes, Jessica, Bluetooth. It's too far away for Bluetooth and the announcers. It and let me tell you, the Bluetooth would be an idea for me because I could put the transmitter. I can use the AirPods if it comes down to it. But what happens if I put AirPods in? I'll have somebody ask me a question behind me in the holding pen, where I'm taking out iPads and there's horses running and all kinds of fun stuff. Jessica, I don't know if I follow you on TikTok. You should drop a link in here for the TikTok. Yeah, see, the Bluetooth would work here in the studio environment, but out in the wild, like I said, it's a distance thing. And the Bluetooth and, well, the community that makes the iPad software, they are in their forums, that's all you hear about is Bluetooth dropping out, Bluetooth dropping out. So it's kind of an issue that it works 50% of the time, let's say. Maybe even a little bit further. So, hi Amy, welcome aboard. Hi Deanna, welcome aboard. I wasn't expecting this to go 30 minutes, but that's okay. If you're just tuning in, I just showed the hats. You know what, let's put up a picture of the hats. How's that? Instead of looking at my ugly mug. Jessica, I have TikTok also for myself and for Southwest Barrels. I haven't used my own one in like 6 months. But I do have one for Southwest Barrels that I use on occasion. We can actually broadcast live to TikTok, but it would require another phone, and I put it on top of the iPad. So yeah, so this is what the hat looks like. You can tell I'm not a product photographer. Jenner, I have no XL shirts at all whatsoever. I didn't even order the new shirts for myself. I'm an XL also. That'll be next batch. I'll order 2 or 3. Like I told the people earlier, every time I order XL or 2X or 3X, they end up being my shirts. And there's only one other rider that is XL that buys t-shirts. So, and of course the hat's a snapback and yeah, Jessica, I was just showing the people the heather red. Let me hold that up in a second. But we're mostly here for the hats. Let's go back to the... There we go. So yeah, so these are the... Morgan, are you going to be at the race on Tuesday or Wednesday? whatever day of the week it is. I don't remember if you're a Queen Creek rider or a Cobra rider. So there's the Southwest Barrel shirt. This is actually, I have named this, this is the classic logo. So let me explain. Amy from Ink Dugs made this logo. I had nothing to do with this at all whatsoever. And I absolutely love it. The cactuses and the barrels and all of that stuff. And I like the little rainbow over the cactus. Or sunrise. So this is the classic logo. We will be changing the logo from time to time. Kind of like the NFL with the throwback uniforms. I was thinking about doing Southwest, but instead of the cactus, we do lightning bolts. I don't know. But this is the classic design. So, a lot of people ask me, a lot of older riders ask me about, okay, Morgan, I got you. Medium pink Cobra. Gotcha. Of course, I might make somebody very, very mad at. See, Morgan, I'm writing it down. Done. Yeah. So. This is actually a medium. This is, like I said, we have a red, and this is a heather red. I can't explain it any better than this is comfortable as all heck. So anyway, let's get back to the story. So, I get a lot of riders that want to be in the positivity posse that are older than the 18 limit. So, they wanted me to create an adult positivity posse. So, based off this logo and my New York City upbringing, I wanted to combine them. So I asked ChatGPT, I want to start an adult group, and it told me that, actually it called me a dumbass and said, Vinny, you should already have one. And then it said it has to be the Cactus Mafia, based off your Arizona barrel racing logo and my New York City connection. So if you are somebody that buys t-shirts, you are automatically enrolled into the Cactus Mafia. So maybe we'll have a Cactus Mafia shirt. So someday. Speaking of shirts, I am going to have a color just for the Positivity Posse. Odds are it will be gold. So this way you know who's in the Positivity Posse just by seeing their t-shirts. Make it like the Hall of Fame for the NFL. You get a gold jacket. So, you didn't know you were part of the group, but if you have a Southwest Barrels t-shirt, you're part of the Cactus Mafia. So, and part of the Cactus Mafia is, the only thing is, if somebody asks you to film their run, you film their run for them. That's going to be the only rule. Other than that, we don't talk about Fight Club. Something like that. So, I just took the bandage off my hand. That's why you see me keep wetting it. I'm trying not to pick at it. So, alright, so I think we covered pretty much everything here. Anybody got any questions for me? How stuff works? If you ever were curious about something? If you're curious why I do the daytime on the left-hand side of the arena shooting and the nighttime at the right side, it has to do with the sun. Quick answer. So, all right, well, this was a lot of fun. Monday nights. Oh, I got new comments. Okay, Jessica. What? Jessica asked, What determines a positive posse member? So, the Positivity Posse was started, I don't even know, 2017, let's say. And it was all started, I was hanging out at the arena where I just took your picture in Pima County. They had a gymkhana, and it was over in the parking lot where you guys park, which I call Positive Posse Arena. So, and what happened was, I was sitting there, and it was a hot day, and it was two riders waiting to do gymkhana. Taylor Horn, who was about maybe 8 years old, and Jamie Frazier, who was, I don't know, let's say 18 at the time, somewhere around there. I keep calling her an adult rider, and I'm sure she wants to kick my ass for it. But, and out of the blue, Taylor says, "Hey, Jamie." And Jamie says, "What, Taylor?" Taylor says, "You rock." And I went, "Oh my God." It was instant to me. The smile on Jamie's face. Jamie was probably having a rough day at Barrels or something that caught Taylor's attention. And I says to myself at that point, wow, this kid is really, positive, and she should be rewarded for this. And I put it in the back of my mind for about a month or so, maybe 2 months. And I was talking to Jill and Stacy about it, and I came up with the Positive Posse idea. And at one of the races, Abby Ray won Pee Wee money, and she went back up to the stairs because it was for charity, and she donated the money back. It was a simple thing, maybe $12 or something like that. But right then and there, me and Jill and Stacy were like, Positivity Posse member right here. Because if you're that young and you're thinking about charity for somebody else, it's something that should be in the thing. And then there's been members over the years that done similar things. Callista, Faith, it just goes on and on, each one. Maddie Freeman's a perfect example. Maddie, I was having the worst day ever, probably 170 riders, 270 riders, something like that. And with like 3 riders to go, she was behind me in the holding pen, waiting to do a time only. And all of a sudden, I just hear somebody yelling for somebody. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, after it was all done, I says to her, wow, that was really nice of you to root for your friend that loud. She says, oh, I don't know her. I just liked her breast collar, so I decided to root for her. I'm like, who does that? And in a world where, in that age of girls, there's a lot of bickering going on, and there's a lot of more talk about negativity in barrel racing than I think there actually is, because I don't see it. But then again, I'm in my little corner of the arena, not doing anything. So each girl is in for their own reason. It has nothing to do at all with riding. I had somebody come up to me a couple weeks ago and tell me, "Oh, I love your Positivity Posse members. They're really good riders. I'm glad you put them in." And it was more or less inclined that they meant that they were in the Positivity Posse for being a good rider. And it's the furthest thing from the truth. There is, I want to say, Taylor Horn was the only one that I've seen ride before being put into the posse, because she rode that day that I came up with the idea. But everybody else is in the Positivity Posse, not for their riding. So, and there's going to be some positivity news coming up this week, I have a feeling. But it's just things, charity, being nice, being kind, saying something nice to a rider who maybe might have had a bad run. Say you knocked over barrel 3. I've had riders say, "Hey, you had a really nice second barrel." And it's so out of the ordinary, to try to, especially if it's an adult rider. Here is a younger rider building their encouragement up. So, I do get a lot of young ladies in the holding pen standing behind me now, rooting for people, because they know that was part of what Maddie did to get in, and I absolutely love it and encourage it, but it doesn't fly. My Brooklyn instincts override that whole entire thing. I pick up on it very, very easily. So, there is an actual list in the Positivity Posse private group. We have a little private group of what it takes to be a member of the Positivity Posse. It doesn't go in lightly. There's 9 girls in there right now, and the most I'll ever put in is 3. And normally I am watching people for 6 months before they go into the Positivity Posse. So, like Jessica, you see me down there at the race where I was taking the pictures. I was down there to root for Kenzie Kennedy, who's in the Positivity Posse, and I was also scouting, putting the final touches on some people. So, in my head, you have to be 13 to 18, but since I'm in charge, I can break my own rules. It was funny that I came up with 13 to 18, because in my thing, it's a tough age, that 15 to 18, and I think younger people, both male and female, need encouragement at that age. So it kind of works out good. And the best possible thing that happened during the Positivity Posse is the girls get to know each other. And like I use an example all the time. There's one girl that was knocking over barrels and stuff, and she hooked up with another girl in the Positivity Posse, and that girl doesn't happen to take no for an answer and won't let you get away with bullshit excuses. So they kind of melted together, and all of a sudden it's a different rider. So I can't explain. I tell people when I go up to the pearly gates and they ask me what I should do to be in, I tell them it's the Positivity Posse. Not that I do anything in it. I'm just a guardian of it for now. Little hint on that later. But it's the work between the Positivity Posse girls that makes the whole entire thing run. So the way to get into the Positivity Posse isn't just through me. The race producers have a say of it. If a race producer sees something and I'm not there, and that's fine, they can explain it to me, and I'll pick up on it and watch the girl a little bit further. Yeah, every race producer. I actually had a meeting with a race producer the other night about it, explaining how it works, because they were a newer producer, and of course all the producers love the idea, and I try to keep it balanced. At first it was too many girls from one area and not enough girls from another area, but once again I can't control where the riders are. So the criteria for the Positivity Posse, it's in my head, it's in the race producers' heads, but there isn't anything online, because I can't let that cat out of the bag, except for being kind, being generous, helping out at the drop of a hat, even if you're exhausted. We'll get into that sometime during this week. I have a post about that. So, Jessica, current Positivity Posse members, I will give them off in order. Once you turn 18, you're out of the Positivity Posse, or if you want to continue for a little while longer, that's fine. There's no set rule against it, because if somebody comes in at 16 and a half, they'd only be in the posse for a year, and I don't think that's fair. So I'm leaving that open just a little bit. It's not a 18 and here's your suitcase, get the hell out thing. You're probably too young to remember the TV show Mel's Diner. They had they always had the waitresses leaving and coming back, and they always used to say, once you work at Mel's Diner, you're always working at Mel's Diner. So, and the senior Positivity Posse members, I want them to start influencing the younger girls coming in. So we have 2 girls that are going to age out this year that probably are not going to leave. Anyway, and the 13 rule at the bottom, I broke that rule I think last year, bringing in Alanya. So Teresa, I wasn't going to say that, but I got the message that, let's just say yes. Anyway, that threw me off. So, I'll try to do this in order. Positivity Posse member, Taylor Horn, who I think the world of, because she's just awesome. All the girls are awesome, but Like I said, she's been in since she's 8, 9 maybe. Now the Positivity Posse also had a little break because I didn't exactly start it when Taylor did it. It was probably like 6 months later, and then I went to New York for a couple of years, and I couldn't put anybody in. So even though Taylor was in 17, her buckle doesn't say anything until 20 or 21. I forget the year, 19 maybe, whatever it is. So it is Taylor Horn, Abby Ray went in second, and then a rider that doesn't ride much anymore in barrels and stuff. She's older. She's over 18. She's married. So her name is Holly Joe, who I think the world of. Holly Joe wrote me the sweetest note. I had one of the worst days in barrel racing. And, I mean, equivalent to me getting run over 5 times and breaking every camera. Kind of bad. And when I went back to my car after doing it, I had a note on my windshield saying, "Thank you for traveling all this way to take our pictures." And it was anonymous, and it took me some digging to find out who it was. Because the Positivity Posse didn't exactly exist when that happened. So she wasn't doing it to get into the Positivity Posse. But yeah, I've seen random kindness acts from Holly Joe. And I just love her positive spin on things. She posts online not frequently on her main account, but everything's positive, always positive. So, let's see. I should open up a Positivity Posse book just to go through all the names, which is kind of funny. Oh, that's funny. Hold on a second. So, let's go. Not in order. Maddie Freeman, who I discussed, she made the impression on me in Queen Creek, and then I saw her ride a couple times in, I want to say she did a Cobra and a Sabre and all of that fun stuff. So she's in. Taylor, Maddie, Kenzie Kennedy, who is the last member to go in. Of course, I'm sure everybody here who has had any interaction with Kenzie knows that, can tell why she's in. She's just gives you the biggest hello and hugs and all of that fun stuff. Then we got so Kenzie's down in, she does Sabre races mostly, and then we got Alanya, who's in Sierra Vista, who I want to say it was racing Queen Creek actually that got her on the thing. I actually saw her do the most amazing barrel ride ever. She in time onlys, they were using the barrel covers, and the barrel cover ripped and grabbed onto her saddle, and she dragged the barrel from first barrel to second barrel, and I don't know how the horse didn't go absolutely insane. But yeah, she's just a joy, and she's an inspiration to me actually. So I love it. I love having her in. So then we got Callista, who just turned 18, who opted to use her extra year or whatever to stay in. And I call her the director of kindness, because if you ever, each girl has their own thing that they're going to be when they leave the Positivity Posse. They are going to get assigned a director's role in some sort. So I call her the director of kindness. So she, her nickname, I have a nickname for her. It's called New Fast Time. Every single time she goes out, it seems like she's setting a new fast time. And like I said, the Positivity Posse doesn't have anything to do with riding, but her being positive, because we normally have a little chat before the race or whatever, and her being positive helps with her run. So that's another thing the Positivity Posse does. It builds a little confidence. Then next up, I got Aaliyah Wood, who is awesome. Aaliyah can get on anything and ride. Once again, it's not based on riding. And a funny thing, Aaliyah and Maddie actually have a connection, because it was Aaliyah's breast collar that Maddie was yelling for. So Aaliyah, I want to say it was a Tuesday afternoon, morning race in Queen Creek, and she had a bad barrel, and her trainer was there with her at the time, and her trainer was telling her what she did wrong, and instead of being negative and talking back to the trainer like blah 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 like a lot of people would do, myself included, I'd be giving the trainer a bunch of thoughts, but she just smiled and she agreed with her, and then they went out and she did the next run, and it was a perfect barrel. So her ability to get that put her on my radar, and then of course the 6 months of watching or whatever. And Aaliyah is actually a funny story because her parents knew that she was going into Positivity Posse probably 2 months before, because I was waiting on buckles. So they kept it a secret from her. So, and Aaliyah is the only one that has had 2 Positivity Posse members there when I presented her buckle. So I just love Aaliyah. Aaliyah is a big part of the Friday night races, why I went over to BR Diamond and watched, because I wanted to go over and root some girls on. And Callista would ride, and Aaliyah would ride, and of course Abby would ride. So then we got Faith, and Faith is, I want to say, one of the nicest people ever on the planet. Faith was very big with keeping a positive mindset with the whole Debbie situation, and keeping me upbeat, of all things. So, and Faith is the first of the Positivity Posse members that I knew was going in 30 seconds after meeting her. Say a minute after meeting her. I just knew that she needed to be in the group with other positive-minded people. So I can't say enough about Faith. I actually went to Vegas and watched her run in the KK race. Yeah, I drove to Vegas, but I had other things to do. But let's just say I drove all the way to Vegas to watch Faith. And I would do that for any runner. 400 miles for an 18-second run. Why not? We're just chasing white lines at this point, right? So I think I covered everybody. If there's somebody I missed, I'm sorry. I'm just going off my Positivity Posse list. Let's see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Got everybody. Okay. So that's what it takes. I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry it was a long answer, but I could talk about the Positivity Posse all night. If you've seen the books, the Positive Pete books, each Positivity Posse girl is in the books. Everybody's mentioned on a first name basis. There's no last names in Positive Pete land. That's a good thing to have. Anyway, the Positivity Posse is in books. And it's another thing. I tell them, the books are on Amazon, and anybody in the world can buy them. So it deals with a lot of problems with, the animals each have a different thing that they're scared of and stuff. We're actually helping people in different countries. Like I use an example of an owl who's scared of the dark. So the whole premise of the book is Positive Pete and one of the animals from the farm, something was wrong with the animal. Like I use an example of an owl who's scared of the dark. So what happens in the book is Positive Pete and the owl get together, and they go out at like sunset before dark, and they end up meeting up with 2 Positivity Posse members. Every story has 2 Positive Posse members. Well, 90% of them do. And they hang out until it gets dark, and they realize that dark is fun because there's fireflies, and you get to see the moon, and bats flying around, and there's a lot of activity at night. And it helps the animal get over the fear of being scared of the dark. So between the 4 of them, teamwork and all of that. So that's the whole basis of the Positive Pete and the Positivity Posse books. So yeah, so that's it. So the Positive Posse is actually helping people outside of Arizona and outside all of the whole things. So, any other questions? That was fun. I don't even know how many people. Oh, we got a lot of people watching. Got 16 on YouTube alone. Yeah, Jessica. So the short answer is I have to see something that's extraordinary, which I see a lot of awesome things because I always look for the positive for stuff. So, Teresa, I see you back. The answer to that question is yes. Should happen tomorrow. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you see that, Jessica? I didn't even know that Alanya reads the book to her cousins. Teresa just dropped the thing. Oh, happy belated birthday, by the way. I would have stopped by you guys on the way home from the Ink Dugs, but I was kind of in a hurry to get to the Marana timed event. And I was also dealing with weather coming, so. Plus, I didn't have any new merch for you. Cool, Jessica. Can't wait to see you. I don't think I've ever explained the Positivity Posse in that long of a. I was saying. And another thing about the Positivity Posse, I've had grandparents come up and try to bribe me to get their kid in the Positivity Posse, and that will never happen in a million years. If anything, it would hurt the people. Trying to piss me off when that happens. They think it's all fun and games, but that doesn't work. Yeah, Teresa, I was more worried about the rain hitting Marana, so I wanted to be there for barrels. They started barrels at I think 5 o'clock, so I had to be up in there for it. I was going to contact you about your schedule because I don't know what exactly is happening there. So let's not put it on the air. We'll do that in DMs. All right, Jessica. Thank you. Have a good night's sleep. Wow, we've been on for an hour. Yeah, Teresa, the only thing I got different new, the hats changed design from a green banner to a black one. I'm sure you've seen the pictures. And I got new heather red shirts, but I only got a limited amount. So, since everybody has red, I don't even know what colors Alanya has. So. Yeah, Teresa, I just had a rain come through here. That was probably the worst ever. And the news reports out of Tempe is that there was a microburst and there's like whole blocks with just the whole roofs missing off houses. So, these outer bands really got to us. I don't know if we're done for the night with them or whatever, but yeah. Oh, that just gave me a new idea to be able to put the thing on the screen. I could do the new fast time, or have somebody type in the new fast time and just highlight it instead of me having to type it. Yes, that's a great idea. Okay. Well, I'm going to call this a night. This was a lot of fun. Baby blue, pink, and purple. And the first hat. Yeah, the first hat, that's going to become a limited edition because I don't think we're getting the green patches ever again. So I might order bigger ones for shirts, but for them to go on hats is going to be probably a no-go. I'll talk to you more about that when I see you. Just remind me to tell you about the hat issues. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for coming on and hanging out with me for an hour. Well, I was expecting a quick 10 minutes to show you the hats and be done. So